Alright guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. So in my quest in 2020 to give you the most affordable devices, which I think will be good bang for your buck, this is the Samsung Galaxy A20s, which is a newer version, different from the A20. Not much difference, but there are some differences here as far as cameras and things like that. But this is the device I'm choosing to bring to you right now. I got the 3 gig, 32 gig red model, as you can see here. So we're going to cut the seal on this. There's two different versions. It has a 4 gig version and a 3 gig version. This phone costs $168, so it's a nice phone that you would definitely enjoy for the money, I'm sure. That's how this slides open. And you can tell by the packaging alone that they're cutting cost on here. So the A20, let's see if you get a case or anything in here. I bought a case just in case I didn't like their case, but it doesn't look like there's a case in there. That's just some manuals. And here's the phone. Phone isn't as big as I thought it was going to be. I've heard people say that this phone was big, but it is not as big as I thought it was because I have big hands. So that's probably the reason why. So let's get it open here. Oh yeah, baby, that is sweet. This is redder, if that's a word. This is more red than I thought it was going to be. It is beautiful though. So in the box here, you get a nice charger there. You get a fast charger, obviously. Let me check that fast charging. It is a 15 watt fast charger. And we'll go over some specs here in just a second. Let's get this all put out of the way here. Wow, this is a beaut. This is a beauty. It is a beauty. So let's start with the back since I'm already here. You've got this beautiful red color. It comes in different colors, but I chose the red. I thought, it would definitely stand out the most. And then you've got a 13 megapixel camera on the back here for the main shooter, which is a wide f1.8. And then you've got an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and then you have a 5 megapixel wide depth sensor. So pretty much all wide angle, no matter where you go. And then you've got an 8 megapixel f2.0 on the front. You've got active noise canceling. You've got a single loudspeaker. You've got Bluetooth 4.2 on this one. You've got a Snapdragon 450, I believe. Yeah, Snapdragon 450 on here. A 4,000 milliamp hour battery inside of this thing. USB-C 3.0. Yeah, you got FM radio. Obviously, you got a fingerprint reader on the back, and it comes in black, blue, red, and green. You got a power button here on the side, which is not ridged, and you got your volume rocker over here. Your SIM tray is on this side. You've got a little microphone up there. And then you've got Type-C, speaker, microphone, and headphone jack. So that is beautiful. You got your LED flash right there. This design takes on the older design. And this is obviously their Infinity V display is what they're calling it. And there it is powering up the Samsung A20s. Beautiful. Now I did buy a case. It'll be here soon, and I'll give you a video on that. But this phone isn't as big as I thought it was going to be. I thought it would be a lot bigger than this. And to my surprise, it is not. So I'm going to get this all set up. And then I'll put my SIM card in here, and I'll see if it has LTE. It is supposed to have LTE for the US. We'll see how that works. But for $168, oh, and the screen is 6.5 inches. My fault. It's 6.5 inches, 720 by 1560. So no 1080p display here, but I guarantee you this should be more than enough for the average consumer. So we're going to go ahead and get in here, change this to English, United States. All right. Media. All right, let's get this set up and I'll be right back. This is sweet, man. I like it so far. All right, guys, been playing with this for, oh man, at least an hour or more. And I want to go ahead and give you the second part of this video. Is, I got it set up. I'm using it and everything. So first things first is the quality of the materials on the back here. Even my best microfiber cloth needs to be used over and over again. So just know that in mind. I do have a case that I'm going to put on here, but generally I don't use cases around the house. But just know that this phone is no exception. It is a slippery device. You'll be cleaning it a lot also. You can see it just kind of looks dirty. I don't know if you can tell on camera too much, but it just looks dirty. But this is something that it comes along with these phones that have these kind of backs on them, just slippery backs and glass backs or plastic backs. This is what comes with it. But look, good thing is this color is very beautiful, so it really doesn't matter to me. Now the fingerprint reader is up a little high. So if you don't have big hands, then you might take some offense to that. But we shall see later on down the line. I have big hands, so it doesn't really bother me. Now remember, this is a 6.5-inch display, and it's actually really beautiful, man. It's 720 by 1560, but the thing is, I didn't feel any type of way about it. It is an IPS display also. Remember, this phone costs 168 bucks, and it is really nice so far, though. I didn't think I would not like it, so if you have any Samsung experience with a phone, you're pretty much getting it right here. Almost no matter what price range you go in for Samsung phones in the current day, they're all pretty much really fast and fluid, and you shouldn't have any issues with it. So I've got mine set up how I like it, the normal spill for all my smartphones, and so you can see how it's laid out right here. Now, let's go into settings here. This is running Samsung 1.1 UI, and it's running Android 9. It's on October security patch for those of you who feel that's important. I do get LTE for the US, and there's also T-Mobile Wi-Fi calling when I put my T-Mobile SIM card in there. You can see right there it says Wi-Fi calling. That came about as soon as I put the T-Mobile SIM card in there, and you know, that's just what happened. So I have full LTE. All you have to do for this device, I think pretty much all the Samsung Galaxy A20s that I've seen are all US compatible with LTE. So the models, though, are, let me tell you my model so you can do your research and grab yours from the seller you want to grab it from. My model is the SM-A207M, and then the /DS is the dual SIM. This is a dual SIM with an SD card phone. Now, of my 32 gigs, I had about 22 before I started installing things. And let's go in here to the storage. And again, this is 3 gigs, 32 gigs of storage. So as you can see here, I have, this is running the Snapdragon 450, just so you know. So I've got 14 gigs, looks like 18 gigs available left. 14 gigs is for system and user data, which is kind of crazy. But I've never seen that before, but that is what it is. So I got 22 gigs were available after I did everything. And then I have 18 gigs available right now. So here are the settings. You saw the drop down menu right here. I have this on the 5x3. You can edit it right here if you want to by button grid and everything. So I chose 5x3. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. It was on 4x3 for default. I chose 5x3 because I like it more across and more down. So settings, here is your connection settings here. You've got your Wi-Fi. You've got your Wi-Fi calling. I have that turned on. You've got Bluetooth, airplane mode. You got your mobile data, your SIM cards and everything. And under more connections, you can see here, nearby device for scanning. Let's turn that off. Some things are on default. And then you got your VPN and printing and private DNS. So no NFC on this device for those that were concerned about that. Samsung Pay is not an option on here either, I believe. But it says I can use Google Pay. And on another device that didn't have NFC, I was able to use Google Pay for some reason. But you know, nonetheless, no, I don't see Samsung Pay, and I uninstalled Google Pay because I'm not going to be using it. But there it is. Those are your connections. And you got your sound and vibrate and everything. You know, just the same old spill here of what you got. So system sounds, advanced sound settings. This does have Dolby Atmos. I don't know if you saw it here. Dolby Atmos right there, but you have to have headphones plugged in, so just keep that in mind. Your notifications and everything, you know how that goes. You can just decide what you want, get notifications for, blah, blah, blah. And then you've got your wallpaper, or you got your display. Now this does have night mode, obviously. This is a newer generation Samsung, so you have night mode. I will be using it on night mode, but for the purpose of this video, I'm leaving it on the brighter mode. Let me see how it looks on here, though. I guess it looks good either way. And then you got your font size. Mine is set to kind of medium, and you can do bold font. And then I've purchased fonts before, so let me go to Samsung One and see how that looks. Let me go to, I'll get my font later that I'm gonna, because I purchased Morris and that's my favorite. Then you got your screen zoom. You can see how far you want it to be. You can get it really big. That's up to you. I like to keep it down there, which is fine. And then you got your timeout, and you got your home screen. You obviously can lock your home screen or whatever you want to do. I've got mine on 5x5. It comes on 4x5. All these grids and everything comes in with 4x5 for some reason. On these big displays, all that canvas, I don't know why it's like that. But you can add apps to home screen, blah, blah, blah. Lock home screen layouts. I can lock it the way it is right now. Rotate landscapes, swipe down for notification panel. Because this is a big phone, so basically you can swipe down anywhere on the screen, and then you'll be able to get that. So if you have small hands, that might be something you want to look into. Navigation bar. These come reversed. The back is always over here, but I personally like the back on the left. And you also have gestures as well. Accidental touches is really nice. I keep that turned on, and you got your screensaver as well. And then wallpapers and themes, same thing. The Galaxy theme store is something that is Samsung devices offer some of the best experiences for themes. So you can go themes, wallpapers, and a lot of these are free, man. So you can grab some free ones, but that's the bad part about the Samsung store. They charge for a lot of these things, man, and they're not worth it in my opinion. But that's an option for you. You can change your theme, you can change different icons, you can pretty much lay it out how you want to lay it out. And it does have biometrics in here, fingerprint and facial recognition. The facial recognition is kind of meh, it's good. It's just not, obviously this is a $168 phone, so it's good enough. It's not the fastest. I have mine set to unlock and stay on the lock screen, but you can set it to where it goes straight into the phone. So that's something. And again, the fingerprint reader is fast, but it's fast enough. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I press it, it's open. It actually is pretty fast. I guess once I get to using it a little bit more, it'll appear even more, a little bit faster. But yeah, you do have gestures on here. You've got that smart pop-up when you get notifications. You got your screen controls here. This isn't something that you guys haven't seen before, but it's there. And then you've got your direct share. You've got reduce animations, make it look a little faster. You can go into developer mode and take care of that. But then you got motions and gestures. You got easy mute, direct call. I like to keep this direct call turned off because it's not something I would want to use. Finger sensor gestures. You can open and close notification panel with your finger. You got that. Let's see here. Swipe sent. I don't like to do that one either. I like to just press it. You got your dual messenger. Obviously, you have the same account. And that's pretty much what I want to show you in advance. Digital well-being. It shows you what you've been doing on your device. And, all your unlocks and your notifications. And it shows you how long you've been doing something. So obviously you can see that most of the time I've been in the settings so far playing with the device. You got your wind down notification. You can do all kind of things like that. Helps you stay off of your device pretty much. And it tracks you so you can determine what you're doing too much of your phone on. So battery life is over here. Your battery's over here. With the Samsung phones, it reads your battery usage after a while. So just be mindful of that. You got your security. You got your memory. This does have 3 gigs of RAM. The other debacle with the A51, it definitely didn't have 6 gigs of RAM, but that's just how it goes. So I always come in here and clean this up every now and then. This is a part of getting an oil change every now and then. Facebook was on here. There was some bloatware, okay? It was LinkedIn, Facebook, and just things I wouldn't use. And only thing I don't like is I'm not allowed to uninstall some of them. But overall, I was able to get them pretty much off. As you can see here, this isn't the fastest, most blazingest, fastest phone when it's doing certain things, but I just powered the phone up, and it's just getting going. It only has 3 gigs of RAM too. So this is going to rely heavily on Samsung's optimization. Now let's see if I can get the great life out of this like I would do any other Samsung device. But for $165, folks, I'm telling you, I'm already impressed. Let's take a look at the cameras and then we'll end this video. All right, guys, so here's the front camera on the device. It's raining out, so I'm not going outside, but I wanted to shoot here in the office just to show you. The front and the rear can shoot 1080p, and this is a quick sample of 1080p. The front camera also has live focus. I shot a picture of that. The front and the rear don't do higher than 1080p, so keep that in mind, but by today's standards, that's actually great for the average consumer. But looking at this footage so far in this setting, I can't wait to see how it does outside in a different setting. So this is the front camera. Let's get to the rear. Now here is the rear camera shooting just the same setting here. Nothing fancy. I'm going to switch to wide angle too. But for now, this is the rear camera just shooting with the regular main shooter. Let's switch to wide angle. All right, bear in mind it might be a little shaky, but I'm just holding the camera here. So the camera settings on this one, it does have a pro mode, which is strange. It has a pro mode for photos and the live focus for the rear camera as well. Video looks to be pretty good from what I can see in this setting. I've got LEDs going. It's kind of dark in the room, but I'll give you a full video on the cameras later. So let's wrap this up here. All right, so there you have it, folks. This is the first rundown for the Samsung Galaxy A20s. I'm actually really liking this so far, and I think this is going to be a great experience. And I'm glad I picked this up. It's not just first impressions about the performance. It's definitely not as fast as like when I'm clicking through things. It's definitely not as fast, and that's only because of the Snapdragon. That's because of the Snapdragon 450 and the 3 gigs of RAM. But I'm going to continue to use this because I think this is a great purchase for 168 bucks. I'm going to use this as a daily for a while, just to really kind of grasp hold of how I could live with this device. So there you have it, man. The cameras are pretty good. Let me show you the camera settings, as a matter of fact, real briefly. You do have wide angle here for video. You got your regular, and then you got your wide angle, and you got your photo. This is how it looks. And you've got your live focus, you got your pro mode, and you got your panorama mode. And that is how it goes for that. It's actually pretty nice, actually. The beauty mode thing, though, I had to make sure that was off before doing anything. But overall, man, you can change settings here. You can go full 9:16. They have it labeled 16:9, pretty much, because of that aspect ratio. That's why. You got your flash, you got auto. It does have HDR. Here you can see it says apply when needed. But other than that, folks, this is a good phone so far. I think I'm not going to feel any type of way about it. There's your resolutions you can shoot in for video, and the front is the same. So camera's looking pretty sweet to me, man. The whole phone is looking pretty hot, so I'm ready to dig in, man. It's a nice size device here. Let me get a phone here. This is the OnePlus. You can see it's just a little bit taller than the OnePlus 7T. So 6.5 inches. This is actually pretty nice. It's narrower, it's big, but it's kind of a narrow phone, so you should be okay with this. But remember, you do have all those gestures and one hand modes. Folks, the A20s, this is fire. 168 bucks. I got it from eBay. So do your research and grab it where you want to buy it from. But I think this is a good one. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Take care.